Ciao, Lucas.
Good evening, Luigino. How
How
good
are
to
you?
see you.
Good to see you too. See, since long time, because last time that we met in Budapest was really, I think, 1 year ago, 2 years ago, maybe.
Well, I would say at least 15 months ago.
Yes, we had a very good conversation together. I remember, no? We
Ye-
spoke about visions.
Yes, I think we met in front of the beautiful basilica,
Hmm.
and we had a short but very intense, positive conversation with you about visions and passion. And yeah, I remember it. It was something I was thinking even a few months later about it.
Yeah, always I think that when we meet together, I don't know, we start to go very deep, because we want to use good the time of our life, because
Yes,
life is very important. Each second, really, we need to be grateful, and we need to share with others experience, passion, everything, because in this way we can grow, have a good experience of life. Yeah.
exactly.
Yes. First of all, thank you so much to be here, because I know that also everybody is super busy, especially you that you are in your journey, to visit your family.
Yes, I'm visiting my brother, and I even see that my nephew
Uh-huh.
Benedict is watching us. Hello, Benedict, um, from Innsbruck, and I'm visiting my brother here and his family, and then I'm going to Düsseldorf.
It's good. Can you describe, tell us something about you, because there is some guest friends that don't know you. That if you introduce a little bit yourself. Um,
Um, yes, I'm working in Hungary and Austria
mhm,
on different projects in different sectors. In real estate, I'm working for a company that is building very modern student houses,
mhm,
so student campuses. And that's why I'm in Budapest, because we're building there for the medicine
mhm,
university large campus.
mhm,
And this takes a lot of energy. Basically, the situation now is very difficult, because
mhm,
everything is stopped basically.
mhm,
And the other side is that I'm supporting my family in the agriculture sector
mhm,
also, with farming and with farmers and with different projects in agriculture. So
mhm.
I'm moving basically between three countries, between Germany, Austria, and Hungary.
It's good. Now, what you do is something that give you 100% satisfaction, that you like what you do now, because it's something exactly in the field that you was attracted for this topic, or is something that you was the destiny that you was here.
Well, um, I would say my life is not typical, like, going to university, having one dream of a profession and
Hmm.
following this like a classical way. For example, going to a consultant company like McKinsey and doing that for many years. I started with my brother Matthias in movie business for 10 years after studying, because we loved a lot cinema, and
Hmm.
we always had this dream. I remember this was my dream when I was a child, and the first time I went to cinema, it was such a magic moment being in this big hall with the big curtain that opened, that after studies we went immediately to a big company in Munich.
Hmm.
This was Kirchmedia. He was a close friend of Berlusconi.
Hmm.
Leo Kirch and Berlusconi, they met a lot of big movies together. He was the opposite of, he was the copy of Berlusconi in Germany. He owned 4 big TV stations, and we worked for him like for 10 years. And we also produced movies. then we found out that this movie world is not maybe not something where we want to stay forever, because it's a big difference between the movie itself and the dream of making movies, and the people who are in media is a completely different stuff. And then we came back to the classic way of working, doing real estate and doing farmland business. Your question was if I feel 100% fulfilled, right? Happy with that.
Yes, exactly.
I cannot answer on that. It depends on the day, to be honest.
Really?
You know, sometimes you turn on, you jump into the car, you turn on the radio, and there is a good song in the radio, and you think you can fly, and everything is so easy, yes? And I think these are moments in life. For me, I'm a very moody person, you know. I have, during the day, I have ups and downs. It's, I would say I'm in general a happy person, yes. But I wouldn't say that I found now in my early 50s maybe the full challenge or the full task in life. I would say I'm doing okay like most of the people, but I think there is more to come.
What do you think? Do you have something that motivates you more? For example, there is some situation that you feel that in that moment you feel very, let's say, connected. You have the feeling of excitement and you know, this kind of also challenge. You know, there is sometimes.
Yes, yes. Yes, there is something I don't like. My challenges are if things in my life are not, how can I describe it? Situations that are for me so obvious that you can change them to a better, but they are not changed, are a challenge that I would like to improve. So if I see a picture where it's helpless to do anything, maybe I'm depressed or I leave it. But if there is a situation where I think that we could do something with our tools, but things are not happening, this makes me angry and this motivates me for changes, you know?
Yes.
This reminds me a little bit this beautiful movie that you sent me before this interview.
Yes.
The Man Who Seeds Trees. Everybody should see this movie, by the way, that you sent me. It is talking about Budapest, for example. I think it's a beautiful city and a big challenge because the city is still immature. Luigino, you come from Italy, I come from Germany, Austria. We know cities, they are fully developed. They are so clean that you can eat from the streets. Every building is in perfect shape. In Budapest, we live in a city that is a diamond, but so much more things can be changed there and developed, no? And maybe this is a big challenge also.
Yeah, there is a space of improvement, and means give space for people that want to be, you know, to make impact, they can make the difference. There is space to do it. Of course, always there is a effort to do. There is a, you know, you need to put your life energy in this direction. Not easy, but I know this what can I say, way to say, no, obstacles make me stronger, you know.
Yes.
Something like this.
Exactly. So this motivates me very much. Also, in regard of our project, you know that accommodation in Budapest can be beautiful, but can be very, very terrible also. So this is something that I like to work on, to give students a new, clean, safe, high-quality home. For example, this is a small piece what you can change, yes. But yes, I think I would like to compare myself with a lot of people, because I would say I belong to a generation or a life age class that grew up in the 70s and 80s, and when I can remind you that life was maybe less complicated in our youth, because we had the East and the West, we had the communism and the good guys and the bad guys. It was, everything was a little bit more on the surface, and now we have to rethink our world structure much more than when we were teenagers. No?
Yes, more complex, I think, and we spoke also before, more fragile, no? More complex, more fragile.
Much more. I remember when we had this Cold War, everybody was thinking this is so terrible and so complex. But if you compare the conflict between East and West to the situation of today, it was rather a simple conflict.
Yeah.
Because today we have hundreds of conflicts. Yes, we have, the world is divided in much more interest zones, and for us it's much more. I always friends call me sometimes a dinosaur, because I still think, you know, in this structure, in this picture, and I'm okay with that, because maybe I protect myself with this old image of the world. But obviously, I'm joking a little bit now.
Yeah. But what you think is not that because outside is so complex, maybe the best solution is to first to look inside, inside us. Because if we are, what I can say, we are clear inside us who we are and what we want, who we want to become, what we want to do. Probably if we have this, let's say, deep connection with our higher self, our best of ourselves, doesn't matter if the outside is complicated. What is important that you do your part. That it's impossible that each of us can save the world, let's say, but each of us can make the little step, his part. He can take his responsibility for his part, and when you do your part, you feel, that you are in harmony, with yourself inside. Because at the end, the interpretation of the external world is always in our mind.
Yes.
Is there. The big game is there, no?
Yes, exactly. You put your hand on this, exactly on this point. The biggest fight, the biggest challenge, the biggest responsibility of how you reflect on this obviously happens in your soul, in your body. Yes, this is obviously true, and that's why I mentioned before that for me every day is a little bit, or every time of the day can be very, very different. Yes, I'm in general, I would say, a very stable person. That means I grew up in a family with 3 brothers, in the middle as a sandwich child, so you know how to protect yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
And I have a wonderful relation to my family and to my brothers, but you know, I think this is a big luck to grow up like that and to have a strong fundamentum.
Yeah.
But this is important, the family. But I would say on the surface, I know that you know what I mean. That you have ups and downs.
Yes.
And obviously, the news that are coming from the world, from radio, from TV, from internet, can be reflected in a different way if you are in a strong moment or if you are in a weak moment.
Yes, true.
Yes.
Totally agree. About person, do you have some in your do you have some in your life that was your inspiration? Some do you had in the past some mentor or some? Do you follow some leaders or somebody that inspire you in your life? Do you have some in your life that for you, you know, was, for example, was for you an element of change, you know, of evolution, for example?
You mean a historical event or a person?
A person, you know. Sometimes in our life, we met somebody that through this moment together or follow him, you know, maybe is a inspirational leader, or a person, can be a friend, can be maybe, you know, it's happened that sometimes in your journey of life you meet somebody that activating you one transformation, you know, because we evolve, you know, in our life. We have a season of life, and sometimes we have this kind of moment that we receive from outside, you know, the activation of something inside.
Yes. I would not say that this was a particular person. I met in my life very pure people that touched me or touched my my life, and I don't know. Life is so fast that if I'm honest to myself, you forget quickly about this person. But something it stays in you. What this person taught you and explained to you. I would say in general, I am inspired by people who do things with a big passion, who really have a deep love to what they do, and people who put all the energy. For example, people who died in their life for a mission. Yes, I mean, you don't want to die for something, but there are people who really give everything for their life. In our family, maybe this was an inspiration. There is a famous eye doctor in my father's family, Hungarian eye doctor. He was benefited in 2003 in the Vatican from the Pope. He was building hospitals in Hungary only for poor people. He spent almost all his money for building hospitals for people who could not afford to go to the doctor. And he was called Laszlo Batthyany, yes. And this was a very inspiring person, yes, for all the family, for example. Yes.
It's a really very strong message from you.
Yes, yes. But in general, I'm collecting. It can happen that I stop at the news and I see something and I see a person and I say, wow, I admire this person. And the life is for me a little bit like a big puzzle or mosaic that you are absorbing all these wonderful people. I could now name hundreds of people who, from sport, from history, from show business, even from poets. I mean, Luigino, what you are doing is also an inspiration, because I live now for a few years in Budapest, and yes, and we know that that it's also a message and a passion. Yes, maybe you are not known to million people, but you also started something that is inspiring us. Yes.
You know, it's each of us has have the have a superpower, that is the free will. No, that we can decide what to do. No, in which way we can analyze our life energy. Means that I think that each of us can feel inside the voice in which direction to use the energy. It's important only to listen this voice and to decide to take action in that direction. Don't need to do big things.
Yes.
But
yes.
But every day, little things. Also, a little smile to the neighbor. You know, it's something that.
Yes, it's exactly, it's very small pieces, and when the end is over and you go to bed, I think it's already a big achievement if you can say the day is completed and you did not hurt anybody, you did something good. I mean, I try to take the life from the simple side and to wait for the big moment for me.
Yes. We have several, I think, around us, we have several messages from very good masters, you know, that they send their message, you know, to be in the now, it's important that you feel that you exist, no, in that moment, and do your best. Means that avoiding distraction, you know, to some fake illusion of not the real life, let's say, real existence.
Yes.
And, listen this message, listen yourself, your inner voice, and follow your bliss. You know, these are
yes. Yes. I think that look, at the end of the day, we were given everybody is given the chance to use your personal strengths, and I think there is no excuse for nobody to sit at home and to cry or to not to do anything, because the mankind, the people are, everybody has some energy, stronger or less strong, and everybody, this is natural, has some goal. Yes, it can be building beautiful houses, it can be painting pictures, it can be doing achievements in sport or shooting movies, and the whole energy of the population can create a better world.
Exactly. Yes, we are all connected, and we need to, let's say, facilitate, foster, you know, the people, and empower the people to lead their own destiny, you know, that in the positive way, from the positive direction.
Yes, that's why I think it's absolutely not important. In Budapest, we have a society where we still little bit live like in the 80s. For example, in Budapest, having a big car is still very important. In Germany and Austria and Italy, it's important to have a small car that is electric. Yes, so I always say to myself, it's not important this society of show off. You know, at the end of the day, it is to know everybody where you want to be in this society. Yes, and I think that the values of everybody are decided inside of you and not outside.
Yes, true. About this and about, for example, your vision for the future, no? Do you have some vision in which direction or who you want to see in front of the mirror in 5 years, 10 years old? Which Lukas you want to see in the morning, no? You wake up and you watch the mirror and who is this new future, Lukas?
I want to try to yes, it's this. I know that this is a classic question, and it's not so easy to answer it. Yes.
Also, because today is one idea, maybe in 1 week another. I know
yes.
It's dynamic.
But now, since you asked it, I had some moments to think now. I would say I would like to try to wake up and to have less luggage with me. That means that I would like to be able to use better my time. That means to concentrate on things that are really important and to get rid of doubts and problems and questions that are annoying me. If I do that, this person might think that about me. I think I'm still in this transformation to live, a life without luggage of the past.
Means more, let's say, inner freedom.
Inner freedom, and to be able to enjoy more the life with not being an egoist. I don't want to make this impression that I want to let my ego grow. No, but I want to just to be able to have a more simple life in terms of less questioning myself.
Okay.
Because everybody has a lot of doubts in life. I mean,
I tell you that this reminded me one page or a part of the book that I use the metaphor of the mountain. You know, the metaphor is that our life is like a journey that you go to the top of the mountain. You are there in a beautiful area full of mountain, and maybe you like also to walk to the top of the mountain, and you know the feeling, no? That
yes.
At the beginning of your journey, at the beginning of the mountain, there is the forest, no? You know, because you decide to climb, and there is the forest. In the middle of the forest, you don't see the direction because it's full of trees, no? And you don't see the top of the mountain, and you don't see the land behind. Means that you feel lost when you start the journey, no? To the top of the mountain. That is the metaphor to be more aware, no? To discover our life. And but of course, you can see always in every moment which is the direction to the top of the mountain, because you need to see where is the inclination. You know, if you follow the inclination, you know that this is the direction of the top of the mountain. Means the more difficult way. The more difficult way is always the direction. Is the metaphor that you need to go every day a little bit out of the comfort zone if you want to grow, if you want to walk in the direction of the top of the mountain. And of course, you are at a certain point, you are outside of the forest. You start to see the horizon, you know? You start to see how beautiful is the life, okay? You breathe amazing air, no? And you have this kind of journey that, yes, bring you to the top. You have obstacle, but the obstacle give you the direction that this is not. It's only you learn lesson, and yes, and you feel that looking on the horizon that the life is so beautiful. No, it's a beautiful panorama. But you need to start, no, this journey to start.
Yes, absolutely. This is a good good description of what I'm saying. Yes, so this is maybe what I would like most, to have a better orientation outside of the of this forest, and seeing better the goals and the point where you want to go. I mean, if I achieve that within 5 years, oh, I would be extremely happy.
Yeah, but for sure, you know, is the meaning is the journey, no, and you are on the way. Means that for sure.
I hope so. Yes.
Yeah, for sure you can enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, time is fast. Really, is you know, is like this 30 minutes. You know, it's very fast. Really
incredible.
You know, but when you enter in flow, no, and you like to have a good conversation, you know, we lose this perception of time. It's always like this, and
yeah. Perfect. No, very interesting conversation, and the time passes so quickly because it's interesting to talk about it.
Yeah, I wish you one amazing Easter time with your family, and follow your dream for your bliss. And I hope to see you soon in Budapest, and let's meet, you know, that now that the weather and the situation can be better and better, and let's meet and continue our talk.
Yes, Dino, I wish you the same. Beautiful Easter. Thank you very much for making this interview possible. It was a small journey through our minds, and have a nice beginning of spring in Budapest. Yes.
Thank you so much.
See you soon in the city.
Ciao. See you soon.
Ciao. Bye. Ciao.